Hi everyone and welcome to Tech Cravers. For the past few months I've been diving deep into the world of retro gaming on the Steam Deck, testing and recording hundreds of classic games from multiple generations. All in pursuit of the one big question that everybody is wondering: is the Steam Deck the ultimate handheld for emulation? Well, after all this time I think I finally have my answer. And that answer is yes. I've always loved collecting and experimenting with different handhelds for retro gaming, but throughout the years I've been searching for that one device that could do it all. Something powerful, versatile and capable of handling every generation of classic games. And for me, the Steam Deck is that device. If I had to choose just one handheld to keep today, this would be it. But what exactly makes the Steam Deck so great for emulation? It's not the smallest and it's definitely not the cheapest. So why does it stand out as the best option? In this video, I thought we would look more into that. So without any further delay, let's jump into it. Before we dive in what makes the Steam Deck such a great emulation device, let me quickly go over my current setup and how I like to configure my Steam Deck for retro gaming. So far I've owned 3 Steam Decks, and my go-to method for setting up emulation has always been EmuDeck. It simplifies the installation and configurations of all emulators I need. If you're new to EmuDeck, I recently updated my beginner's guide, so be sure to check that out after this video for tips on getting started. As for my game library, I keep around 200 retro games stored on an external hard drive and transfer them to my Steam Deck's internal storage. Of course, you can also run everything from an SD card, but since my deck has 1 TB of storage, there's more than enough room for my retro collection, along with a few of my favorite AAA titles. To make accessing my games seamless, I use Steam ROM Manager to add my favorite retro titles directly to my Steam library, so they appear to me just like regular Steam games. For larger collections, like my SNES and N64 libraries, I prefer using Emulation Station as a frontend for easy browsing and organization. And as I've said, I've put together several guides on setting everything up, so if you need help, be sure to check out my other videos. And also, while you're here, don't forget to like this video or drop a comment down below. It really helps the YouTube algorithm to pick it up and you support the channel at the same time. But what exactly is it that makes the Steam Deck so good? One of the biggest advantages of the Steam Deck is its constant software updates. Since launch, Valve has steadily improved Steam OS, fixing bugs and adding new quality of life features that makes the Steam Deck even better for both gaming and emulation. But the real game changer? The community. With one of the largest user bases of any handheld, the Steam Deck benefits from an active community where if you run into a problem, chances are someone has already figured out a solution. For example, I once had an issue where an emulator wasn't mapping controls correctly. After some quick troubleshooting and browsing community forums, especially on Reddit, I found an easy fix using custom controller profiles and problem was solved in minutes. That kind of support is something you just don't get with smaller, more niche emulation handhelds. If something breaks on those, you're often left figuring it out alone. But with the Steam Deck, you're part of a massive community constantly sharing tips, fixes and improvements, making the experience better for everyone. Another big reason the Steam Deck stands out is, well, its size. Yes, it's larger than most other handhelds, but that extra space comes with some major advantages. The ergonomics are fantastic, with a comfortable button layout, solid analog sticks and D-pad, and even trackpads, which are perfect for emulating mouse-based systems. And if you go for the Steam Deck OLED, which I have here, you're in for an even bigger treat. The 7.4 HDR OLED display is a game changer, offering richer colors, deeper blacks, and better visibility in all lighting conditions. For retro gaming, where pixel clarity and contrast makes a huge difference, this screen takes the experience to another level. And another underrated feature, the front-firing speakers. They sound noticeably better than what you'll find on most other handhelds, making everything from classic SNES soundtracks to PS2 cutscenes feel more immersive. But now let's jump into some real emulation performance. I won't be talking too much over this showcase, just giving you a quick breakdown of how each system runs. Let's start with the classic handhelds, Game Boy, Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. And as expected, these systems run flawlessly on the Steam Deck. With custom shaders, scaling options and color correction filters, you can tweak the visuals to closely match or, in most cases, improve upon the original hardware. GBA games in particular look stunning on the OLED screen thanks to their naturally vibrant colors. I've also set up my emulators with custom bezels instead of the standard black borders you'd normally get on widescreen displays. Personally, I think it enhances the experience, but of course that's all down to personal preference. Thanks to the Steam Deck's large display, dual-screen emulation like Nintendo DS works surprisingly well. You can choose from different layouts, making it easy to position the screens in a way that feels natural for you. The touchscreen functionality can be mapped to the trackpads or even used with an external stylus for near-authentic DS experience. Performance is excellent even for games with intensive 3D rendering, which runs smoothly without any major issues. And if you're using EMULATION to set up your emulators, the hotkey for swapping screen layouts is automatically mapped to one of your back buttons, making it super convenient to switch on the fly. PSP games run flawlessly on the Steam Deck, even at higher resolutions. With upscaling, anti-aliasing and texture enhancements, you can make these games look way better than on the original hardware. Even demanding titles like God of War: Chains of Olympus run at full speed with no hiccups.
On my mark! Fire! I must return fire!
.3DS emulation on the Steam Deck is surprisingly solid, offering a great way to experience these games with enhanced visuals. Many titles run at higher resolutions, making them look sharper and more detailed than they ever did on the original hardware. Games like The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D and Mario Kart 7 not only run smoothly but also benefit from the larger screen and improved textures. That said, some games do experience some shader compilation lag, which can cause occasional stuttering, especially in more graphically demanding titles. This is something that varies from game to game, but in most cases performance remains very playable. For certain games like Pokémon Sun and Moon, you might want to tweak some frame skip settings or adjust emulator configurations to maintain smooth performance. But once dialed in, the Steam Deck offers one of the best ways to play your 3DS games, especially if you want to experience them in higher resolution and better clarity than ever before. And that's it for handheld emulation on the Steam Deck. Now let's move on to some classic home consoles, starting with NeoGeo, Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. These legendary systems run flawlessly on the Steam Deck. Whether you're using shaders to replicate the look of old school CRT displays, enabling widescreen hacks for selected titles, or simply enjoying the crisp upscaling on a modern screen, the experience is fantastic. Another big plus, battery life. Since these systems require very little power compared to newer consoles, you can get hours of gameplay on a single charge, making the Steam Deck an ideal way to enjoy these classics on the go. With upscaling, texture filtering and widescreen hacks, PS1 games looks better than ever on Steam Deck. The increased resolution brings out details that were once hidden by low resolution displays, while texture filtering smooths out rough edges for a cleaner, more polished look. Games not only run flawlessly but also feel amazing thanks to the Steam Deck's excellent controls. The responsive D-pad, comfortable analog sticks and the customizable back buttons make for an experience that's as close to the original as possible, if not better. Nintendo 64 performance is excellent for most titles, though some titles, like Perfect Dark, may require a few tweaks for optimal playability. With upscaling and texture replacement packs, N64 Classics looks sharper and more detailed than ever, while optional widescreen hacks help to modernize the experience for a more immersive feel. Dreamcast games not only run smoothly but also benefit from increased resolution and widescreen patches. Games like Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi look sharper than ever while maintaining their original smooth gameplay. Occasional glitches may occur, but they are usually due to poor emulator optimization or widescreen patches rather than the limitations of the Steam Deck's performance. Interestingly, newer and more demanding systems like Gamecube and beyond often run more smoothly than some older consoles. Most Gamecube games can be upscaled to 2x or even 3x native resolution, making them look incredibly sharp compared to their original hardware. Thanks to the Steam Deck's power, these games not only run great, but also benefit from improved visuals. For Wii games, motion controls can be mapped to the deck's built-in controls or used with a Bluetooth Wii remote for more authentic experience. Titles like Metroid Prime and Super Mario Galaxy perform exceptionally well, making the Steam Deck a fantastic way to revisit these classics.
Hey, this is Pharrell from the Neptunes. At NERD, you're listening to EA Radio Big.
Welcome back! Take a few of these, if you don't mind. Swiftly attack these Urukhai. There's a demon!
Hey!
Most PS2 games can run at 2x or 4x native resolution, giving them a huge visual upgrade over the original hardware. Titles like Burnout 3 and Metal Gear Solid 3 look incredible, with sharper textures and smoother performance. That said, some demanding games like Shadow of the Colossus may require additional tweaks to run smoothly. But honestly, that game seems to struggle on almost any system when emulated, no matter how powerful the hardware is.
Am I glad to see you, Sarge? We're pinned down by that enemy vehicle. Somebody's gotta take it out.
Let me guess, that somebody is me.
We gotta volunteer. Here, Sarge, take this. We'll cover you. From back there!
The last system we're taking a look at in this video is the Wii U, and this is where I first noticed a major performance gap between the Steam Deck and older PC-based handhelds. Many Wii U games, including The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, Mario Kart 8 and Super Mario 3D World, run beautifully, delivering a near-native experience on the deck. The performance is so solid that I'd argue that when the Steam Deck launched 3 years ago, it was the first time we had experienced Wii U emulation this smoothly, especially on a handheld device. And it's honestly amazing to be able to relive these games this way, especially now that Nintendo has shut down the Wii U eShop for good, with second-hand Wii U consoles becoming harder to find in good condition each day. The Steam Deck has become one of the best ways to preserve and experience these classics today. And that's it for my breakdown on why Steam Deck reigns supreme as the ultimate emulation handheld in 2025. No other device comes close to what it offers, and let's be honest, it's unlikely anything will until Valve releases the Steam Deck 2. What makes it unbeatable? The thriving community, the incredible comfort and the sheer performance you get for the price. It's simply in a league of its own. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't include Xbox, PS3 or Switch emulation in this video, and the simple answer, I'm not a huge fan of emulating newer systems. While the Steam Deck can handle many Switch and PS3 games surprisingly well, getting them to run smoothly often requires a lot of tweaking. And then there's the ethical side of things. I personally believe that if a system is still being sold, like the Nintendo Switch, it's best to play it on the official hardware, especially with the OLED model or the upcoming Switch 2. But that's just my take. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to Tech Ravers for more content in the future. Thanks for watching.